Welcome everyone to this exciting interview segment. Today we have the pleasure of sitting down with Sydney Scotia, star of the UPTV movie Return to Sender and Hallmark, Our Holiday Story. Sydney takes on the role of Joanne in Return to Sender and Joanna in Our Holiday Story. Join us as we delve into Sydney's insight into her characters and the challenges of filming these movies. Thank you for being here today with us, Sydney.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to talk about these because one just came out when we're doing this, and one of them is about to come out next week.
Yeah,
So I'm just really excited. It's all coming out at once.
me too. So, about our holiday story, can you tell us a little bit about your character in this movie?
Yes. My character is Joanna. She goes by Jo, and she's a very self-assured, confident, very driven, hardworking, and very career-focused girl. She loves her family. She's a very tight-knit, blended family, and she has an amazing boyfriend who she loves, but she's struggling with whether or not he's the one, which is very relatable, I feel like, and something that most have to go through. And so she thinks that she has it all figured out at a very young age, but then grows up to realize that she doesn't and that nobody has it all figured out. And she gets herself in a little bit of trouble and causes some trouble for herself by not being decisive or having all the answers.
Great. And what initially attracted you to your role in our holiday story?
Well, not only did it give me a chance to be part of a Hallmark holiday movie, which has always been a dream of mine, that was a big bucket list item for me as an actor. And I hope it's not the only time that I do this, but it definitely was one of those things that I always said. Maybe I manifested it, but I always said I wanted to do a Hallmark holiday movie. And so I was very excited. But also, this was a really fun character to play. And there were some similarities to myself, and it just felt like a good match. And I get to play a range of ages. I got to play Jo when she's in her teens and then Jo when she's in her 20s, which was a new opportunity for me. Never played multiple ages in the same show. And it also felt like something that was close because I was playing an age that I was and then playing me 10 years prior, which I was able to draw on where I was in my life at 16, 17. So that was really a fun challenge and just a fun opportunity.
Amazing. And what do you think makes this movie so special and captivating? And what do you hope audiences take away from watching our holiday story?
Well, I think this movie is really emotional in the way that it hints at how our past moments that are good and the not so good really just lead us to where we are today. And that everything happens for a reason, whether or not it is fate or whether it's not or not it's by design, by our own volition. It just shows us that things work out how they're supposed to, maybe, or we like to think that. And I hope that it inspires people and that they can take something away from it that they relate to in their own life. I know I definitely do with this movie, and that they just have fun watching it and lean into the romance and the comedy and have a little escape into this Christmas world that takes place in two different decades.
Amazing. And what was it like working with the rest of the cast and crew on this set?
This cast and crew it was awesome. We were filming in Kelowna, which is in interior British Columbia. It's about 4 hours north of Vancouver, and I'd always wanted to go to Kelowna too. Another big bucket list item checked off. And I loved it there. It was just such a beautiful landscape to be filming on. And we were filming in August and beginning of September. So we were, in coats and scarves and mittens, and it was sometimes 100 degrees outside, which was hilarious, but beautiful. And we had time because most people on the cast were from elsewhere. They weren't from Kelowna, they weren't from the interior Okanagan Valley. And some of the crew was, but then some of them were from Vancouver. We all bonded in a way that was nice because, on your weekends, there's nothing, you don't know anyone in this town. So you really get to bond with your cast and crew. And we had one epic karaoke night that was great. And it was like in the middle of filming too. So we got to know each other throughout the whole time. It wasn't just beginning and then a wrap party at the end. We got to really get to know each other along the way and work together. Although it was a lot of work and that was the prime focus, it's nice to get to know people in a more intimate way when you're on set. And I think that's what draws so many people to the industry as well as the personalities and the people. So it was a blast. I really enjoyed these scene partners and the crew. And I hope we get to work together all again sometime.
That's amazing. And what can you tease about your character journey?
Well, Joanna definitely thinks that she knows what she wants.
Mm.
And she feels like she has to have everything buttoned down for herself and for her dad, who she cares so much about and wants to make sure that he's happy. And so she has to deal with the realization that not everything happens the way you expect it to or always goes in your favor based on exactly what you need in the moment. And so it's really about her story is really about her finding out that you have to sometimes put yourself in a different perspective in order to get to the ultimate ending that you want. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's how what I was thinking while we were going through this. I definitely when I was 15 and that was something I drew on, I thought this is how things are going to go. It's all going to be according to this plan. And 10 years from now, this is where I'm going to be. And then nothing goes that way. And so that's kind of similar to
Yeah,
Joanna's story.
it makes sense. Yeah. And what was your favorite scene or moment while filming our holiday story?
Sorry, you cut out for 1 second.
What was your favorite scene or moment while filming our holiday story?
There was one scene with my partner in this, Gavin Langelo. He and we're in our 20s at this point, and we're decorating gingerbread houses, and he's met my family for the first time. And there was a really fun gag in that scene, and there were a lot of laughs, and a lot of fun times in between action and in between cut and action that we got to have. So that was one of my favorites. I think the setting is so beautiful and everything was so well done. on this set as well with the props in front of us. The actors we got to play with, and Gavin was such a supportive scene partner that anytime we got to do a scene together, it was really so good, such a blast. And we just had fun kind of riffing off each other. So that was probably my favorite scene in that. Also, I love a good gag. I love a good icing gag. I mean, that's what I'll say about it. I don't think that's a spoiler. There's icing, there's shreds.
That's great. Change of subject. What have been some of the most memorable projects you have worked on throughout your career, and why for you?
I think every time I'm on a new project, while I'm filming it, I think, oh, this is going to be the most memorable. You're the oldest you've ever been, and you're the youngest you're going to be, and you feel like you have the most experience to make and fully form a character. So every time I get a new project, I definitely think, oh, this is going to be what I'm most proud of because I have all this experience and training up until this point to do my best work. So that's every project for that reason is special to me. But one that definitely sticks out and will always stick out, I think, forever for me is Some Assembly Required, which was my first series. That was a YTV Netflix youth show. And that was so special because for a lot of us, that was our first series. And that was my first job, really. And I got to film with people who became my best friends and are still my best friends and that I talk to regularly. So I think that will always be one of the most special projects for so many reasons. And it was the first, and it went for 3 years. It was such a victory to book that as well because there were so many auditions that led up to booking that, and then a flight to a chemistry read, and really the process was so nerve-wracking for that one, being so young, that it was so rewarding. And then getting to spend my birthdays, my 16th, my 17th, my 18th birthday were all spent on set from that point on. And it was special to grow up in those formative years with those people.
Great, amazing. So, a quick question. At Survival Shows, we are big fans of Christmas rom-coms. What is your all-time favorite?
My all-time favorite rom-com,
Christmas rom-com.
that's Christmas rom-com. Okay. Christmas rom. Oh, The Holiday.
Yeah.
The Holiday, hands down. That is, I watch that every single holiday season. I just love all four of those actors with Cameron Diaz, Jude Law, Jack Black, and Kate Winslet. Everything about that movie is so perfect to me, and I will watch it actually any time of year. But if I had to name a couple more, because I love Christmas rom-coms, so I will. Love Actually,
Yeah.
and obviously Elf is one of the greatest of all time. So
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Is that one of your favorites?
Uh,
Yeah, who doesn't love Elf? That's so good.
yeah, The Holiday and The Love Actually first, and then all the others.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what it is about The Holiday, but I can watch it anytime.
Yeah. So, the last question. Can you tease something about your next projects?
Yes, I can. I just finished filming a thriller horror Bigfoot themed movie in Vancouver called Sawtooth Mountain. And that'll come out next year. And that was really exciting because I got to produce and act in that one. And that was my first time producing a feature narrative film. So I'm really, really excited about that. And next year, I'll be directing and producing some films that I've written and some that I haven't written. I'm excited to get even more behind the camera.
Amazing. The the next projects are rom-com or not? The next projects are rom-com.
Oh no.
I'm sorry.
No worries. I've like so the way it goes, and then I've got 10 leaf blowers outside of my window. I know you can't probably pick them up in Zoom, but just there's so much going on in New York, outside of New York window. Got like leaf blowers over here, sirens over here. The sun is like not at all, nothing happens right on Zoom, like Zoom interviews, so it's bound to happen.
Yeah, I will cut a little bit in the
Yes,
interview.
yes, cut anything.
I don't know if you heard me before. Are the projects of next year rom-com or something else genre?
So there's a horror film,
Okay.
there's an indie coming of age, and there is a female-led comedy, and there is a rom-com that I've been working on. That one will probably be a little bit later down the list. But yes, there is a rom-com. I love rom-coms, and I hope I get to work on many more because it's just a genre that is so fun to be in.
Yeah. So this is it. Make sure all of you to catch our holiday story this Saturday on Hallmark channel. And thank you, Sydney, to join us today.
Yay, thank you so much. Thanks for having me. This was a blast.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. And thank you all for watching. Bye.